The Qatar GP went all in the spotlight for Mercedes, but for all the wrong reasons. The Turn 1 crash between Lewis and George has brought back some 2016 Barcelona vibes where both of the silver arrows crashed into each other. And while the tension back then was much higher than it is right now, for 2 races in a row, Russell and Hamilton are going head-to-head, and this time, it was the younger Brit who got on top of things. And his amazing race after the crash made a statement on how he plans to integrate things in Mercedes in the foreseeable future. While it was undoubtedly Verstappen's weekend in Qatar, it was his great rival who ensured a share of the headlines for the wrong reasons in a first-lap incident. Hamilton took advantage of starting from the cleaner side of the grid and having softer tires to get a better start than Russell ahead of him, and had almost pulled alongside his teammate as they approached the first corner. It was at that moment that Russell veered towards Hamilton's line on the outside of the track, just about far enough in front to justify the maneuver. Hamilton would have been well advised to back out of it at that point, but sought to complete a pass around the outside, leaving Russell nowhere to go with Verstappen on his inside. Contact was at that point inevitable, and it was Hamilton that came off worse as he lost a wheel and spun into the gravel. Russell went off track and resumed at the back of the field before pitting at the end of the lap for new tires, and impressively mounting a fight back after letting his frustrations out on team radio. But if we are to analyze the entire situation, it was truly a brave and yet a mature move by Hamilton, because at the point of the Turn 1 entrance, Russell had nowhere to go when Hamilton tried to do the ambitious overtake on both of the cars due to the massive grip he had on the soft compound tires. After watching the replays, Hamilton opened up about the entire situation and spoke to the media about it, elaborating, "I just obviously felt a tap from behind, but I don't think George had anywhere to go. Yeah, it's just one of those really unfortunate situations. I'm happy to take responsibility as the older one. I've watched the replay, and it was 100% my fault, and I take full responsibility. Apologies to my team and to George. It's obvious that Mercedes has missed out on a massive opportunity, something that Russell has spoken about as well. And while he did accept the apology from his teammate and said that there was nothing much he could do about it as he was caught up in the entire situation, the Brit recognizes stuff like this must not happen in the future if they are to win races and championships from 2024 onwards." Elaborating on this entire situation, Russell went on to say, "It is frustrating because it was a big missed opportunity for us. We've got one goal, and that's to finish P2 in the Constructors' Championship. We had a lot of discussions this morning about how we're going to work together. The fight was not with each other and with Ferrari. Fortunately, we still came away with more points than them this weekend, but Lewis and I have huge respect for each other. Nothing was intentional from either side. I definitely appreciate him apologizing. As I said on the radio, in every incident it involves 2 people. Obviously, Mercedes are not going to throw the towel in just because their main focus is on 2024. And while both of the drivers are aware that their car might not win a race this season and break a record that the team has been keeping alive from 2013 onwards, winning at least 1 race in the season, this is not something that bugs their minds as much as it should. The next race is in Austin, where Mercedes are supposed to bring a huge upgrade package, but will this be enough for them to actually be competitive and have a legitimate shot at winning the race? For this question to be answered, Mercedes needs to issue the intra-team battle that has gotten up to another level between Hamilton and Russell, and the team did exactly that after the race. Elaborating on this matter, Bradley Lord, who replaces Toto Wolff while the Austrian recovers from an injury, said, "Worst possible start, and the worst possible thing that can happen for a race team to see your 2 cars collide. For sure, on lap 1 with George at the back and Lewis in the gravel, things didn't look brilliant at all. To turn that around with George in P4 and outscoring Ferrari on an afternoon was not something we could have hoped for once we were 1 lap into the race. What might have been is clear to see. We were right on the pace of the McLarens, probably not within striking distance of Max, but there's a double podium that could have been today. Ifs, buts, and maybes don't really count in this sport, so we will take what we have got and be happy with that, but it could have been so much more." What do you think about the Mercedes verdict on this entire crash? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.